Our story begins long before 1776, with the vibrant and diverse cultures of Native Americans who inhabited this land for thousands of years. From the mound builders of the Mississippi Valley to the cliff dwellers of the Southwest, they created complex societies deeply connected to the earth. Then, in 1492, a new chapter began when Christopher Columbus arrived, sparking an age of European exploration and colonization. The Spanish, French, Dutch, and English all came, seeking wealth, land, and religious freedom. In 1607, the English established Jamestown, their first permanent settlement, and in 1620, the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth Rock, setting the stage for the 13 colonies. For over 150 years, these colonies grew, developing unique identities but remaining under British rule. Tensions started to rise over issues like taxes and representation. Remember the phrase, "no taxation without representation"? The Boston Tea Party was a boiling point, and soon, the first shots of the American Revolution were fired at Lexington and Concord. On July 4th, 1776, the colonists declared their independence, proclaiming that all men are created equal with the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. After a long and difficult war, and with help from allies like France, the Americans achieved a stunning victory. The United States was born, a bold experiment in democracy governed by the new Constitution. The 19th century was a period of dramatic expansion. The Louisiana Purchase doubled the nation's size overnight, and the idea of manifest destiny spurred pioneers westward along trails like the Oregon Trail. This expansion, however, came at a great cost to Native American populations who were forcibly removed from their ancestral lands. The country was also growing economically, with the Industrial Revolution transforming the North, while the South's economy remained dependent on the institution of slavery. This fundamental difference over slavery tore the nation apart, leading to the devastating Civil War from 1861 to 1865. It was the country's darkest hour, but it ended with the Union preserved and slavery abolished. The period that followed Reconstruction aimed to rebuild the South and integrate formerly enslaved people into society, but it was met with fierce resistance, and the struggle for civil rights would continue for another century. As the nation entered the 20th century, it emerged as a global power. Waves of immigrants from around the world fueled its cities and industries. The U.S. played decisive roles in both World War I and World War II, which solidified its position on the world stage. The post-war era brought unprecedented prosperity and the American dream, but also the tensions of the Cold War against the Soviet Union, back home. The fight for equality reached a fever pitch with the civil rights movement of the 1950s and 60s. Led by inspiring figures like Martin Luther King Jr., activists challenged segregation and discrimination, leading to landmark legislation like the Civil Rights Act of 1964. The late 20th century also saw incredible technological leaps, from the space race that put a man on the moon to the dawn of the Internet age, which has reshaped our world. And that brings us closer to today. The story of America is far from over. It's a continuous narrative of struggle and triumph, of debating what its founding ideals mean in an ever-changing world. It's a history filled with countless voices, all contributing to the complex, dynamic, and unfinished American story. Thanks so much for watching. It's impossible to cover everything in a few minutes, but I hope this gave you a good overview. If you enjoyed this journey through time, please hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. See you next time.